Hey guys, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with an underrated romance book recommendation video for you. I actually have Miss Luna on my lap right now, so hopefully she doesn't bark or make any noise, any sudden movements. So I kind of wanted to compile a list of some of my favorite books I've been reading recently that I just want more love on them. Like, they are so good and I want more people to discover them. And yeah, so the first book I'm going to chat about is Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This one is such a fantastic summer romance, and the heroine, she's about to turn 30 and she just feels kind of stuck in her life, like stuck in her dating life. She just feels like she isn't moving, forward with anyone, and she feels really sad about that. She feels a lot of pressure from her family to date. So she decides to get on this dating app and start actually going on dates with guys. And she's also plus size. So we see a lot of representation with that in this book. And the bar across from her apartment she loves to go to, she kind of connects with the bartender there, and they kind of make a pact, like he will basically be her wingman on these dates. Like if anything goes wrong, like he's serving them and all this stuff. And that ends up being the hero. And so she's going on these dates with these guys and they're just not it. And like the hero is just there for her all the time. They connect so well. They have such great banter and I just love them. And they don't realize like until the end that they're like perfect for each other. And I love that in a romance. Like it's just so good. It's like you guys are just, you're silly. Like you are perfect for each other. So I love this one. I love the banter. I love this romance. It was just so solid, and I love like that they were kind of had like a friendship vibe before becoming in a romantic relationship. So this one is so good. It needs more hype. More people need to read it, especially the audiobook. Then I have The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. Now this one does have a lot of hype in the sense of like it is tribe published, but I feel like people forget about Brittany C. Cherry sometimes, and she is such a great author, and this book is so good. So this one is kind of an angsty emotional romance where in the prologue we start off with the heroine who her sister is going through cancer treatment, and it's really, really tough on her, and basically her whole family is kind of just leaving her and her sister in the dirt, and it's just like, we don't want to deal with that, like it's too tough for us right now. So then we flash forward to the present where the heroine, she's a florist and she is bringing flowers to this funeral for a famous author, and she finds out that the guy that she meets, and they kind of have a weird meet cute, is actually the son of the person that passed away. And so they just like get off kind of on the right foot, like a little bit begrudgingly, but they really connect and have like instant chemistry, but she realizes he's married. So that's kind of where the story goes from there. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away, but it is such a fantastic emotional romance, and there's a reason why she always has to be around him because of who he's married to. And I really love this one. I love the emotional aspect of it, and it's just so fantastic, and more people need to read it. Then I have Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles. This is her newest release, and I love it so much. I feel like so many people love like Fragile Sanctuary in this series and like the other books, but this one is so good, and I really, really enjoyed it. So the heroine, she is a part of the family that we're following throughout the whole series, and she's just like struggling a lot with her past and her parents, and they were murdered. And so she is just still dealing with the like after effects of all of that. And so she meets the hero, who is actually he's the best friend of her brother, and he also owns her brother's hockey team. So he's like a billionaire, and he's coming to the small town to, I think he's like building like a lake house there. And so they just keep running into each other, and he keeps hanging around her. She's an artist, and he wants like art from her for his new house, and he's like just like a millionaire hanging around her. And then something happens where she kind of becomes in danger, and so he basically is like, I will stay with you in your house and protect you. And that's kind of where the story goes from there. And it's so good. Like, I loved this one. There's definitely like who did this to you vibes. Very protective, possessive hero. He's also a billionaire, so he likes to spend money on others, and I just love that. And it's just such a solid romantic suspense romance, and it's so, so good. Then I have Killer of Mine, which is a Why Choose romance. It's actually Why Choose FBI, and more people need to read this one because this author is fantastic, and this is one of my favorite Why Choose romances. So the heroine, she is, I think, a police officer at the time, but she's training to be an FBI agent, and all like 4 or 5 of the heroes are already FBI agents, and they're trying to find this guy who is on the loose for like murdering a bunch of people, and that is actually the heroine's dad. So she is trying to find intel about the murders and about his case and where he is because she can't find him. And the heroes basically catch wind of that because she is like supposed to be on the case with them, and they're like, no, like you can't do that. And so she ends up going into witness protection and has to stay at their house, and that's kind of where the story goes from there. And it's so good. Like, there's so much action in this one. I really need to pick up the next book in this series because just so much is like going on. And they really use like sex as a healing process in this romance because she had to deal with a lot of the stuff that her dad did, and it's really hard on her and her character. And I just loved this one. It was such a fun Why Choose romance and needs more people reading it. Especially the audiobook is really fantastic. Then I have Stealing Sunshine by Hannah Cohen. This is a really amazing sapphic small town romance. I love it so much. So the heroine, she's moving to the small town to become a teacher and start teaching, like her first job out of graduation. And she's staying with her brother at the time, but her brother and his girlfriend are just, you know, she just feels like she's encroaching on their space. And so this is a series, so we do see like a lot of like characters that are all best friends. And so the brother basically asked his friend group, like, can anyone have my sister stay with them? And the only person that like has the room is Bryce, and Bryce is just very grumpy, and Daisy, the other heroine who's going to become a teacher, is very sunshine. And Bryce just doesn't want Daisy to stay with her because she is so attracted to Daisy, and it's so good. And so Bryce begrudgingly agrees, and Daisy moves in, and Daisy is just always, you know, very like bright, and Bryce is just like, ew, like, no, but I'm also really attracted to you. And so they actually end up going into a fake dating relationship because Bryce's parents keep trying to set her up with guys, and Bryce is like, no, I'm only into women, like I'm not into guys. And like her parents really want her to settle down and are really trying to dictate her life. And so to kind of get her parents off her back, she and Daisy enter in a fake dating relationship. And that's where the story goes from there. And it's so good. And Bryce is also a tattoo artist, so we have some fun tattooing scenes. And I just love sapphic romances, and I had never read a small town sapphic romance before, and it was just so amazing, and more people need to read this one. It's so good. Then I have Skies Over Caledonia by Samantha Young. This is one of my favorite romances by her. It's so fantastic. So the heroine, she like has kind of been in contact with her sister, but not really. Like, her sister lives in Scotland, and she owns the manor that this whole series revolves around. And years ago, she was in town, and she kind of had like a moment with the hero, but they didn't because he's much older than her. And now she's back in Scotland wanting to visit her sister, but the only way that she can stay in Scotland is if she marries someone for like citizenship. Like, if she leaves, she wouldn't be able to come back. And so she asked the hero, who is kind of like a family friend, friends with like all of the people in the series, to enter into a marriage of convenience so that she can give money to him for his farm and she can get citizenship. And that's kind of where the story goes from there. And it's so good because they have to live together at the farm, and the heroine is very wealthy and a little bit spoiled. But they've also been pining after each other for years, and it's just so good to see because they totally have an F-it moment in this one of like the tension and chemistry between them. It's just too much, and they can't help themselves, and it is so good. And then the last one I have is a historical romance by Stacey Reed. It is The Wolf and the Wildflower by her. I listened to it on Hoopla, and the audiobook is just so good. So the heroine, she has been cosplaying being a man her whole life because her dad really wanted her mom to keep having children, to get a male heir, but that didn't end up happening. And so to kind of protect her mom, you know, from having to go through birth again and pregnancy, she basically lied and said that the baby was a boy. So flash forward to the present, she goes around with her dad, who's like a mental health professional in high society, helping people. And that's when they go and visit the hero. And the hero, He is the son of like a duchess, and he actually went missing for years in Alaska, and he was like living on his own in the wilderness and all this stuff. So he just needs to relearn how to be back in society. And so she starts working with him and her dad and the hero one-on-one. And the hero like instantly realizes that she is a woman because of her scent. And like, it's just insane. And I just love this story so much because they're both so attracted to each other, but they're also like, how can we actually be together in the real world when everyone knows us and our identities, like especially the heroine. And it's so good. It's so good. Like, I love this one so much. It's fantastic. It's so underrated because the angst and tension is just like chef's kiss. And it's very spicy and a lot of fun. All right, well, that was the last book I wanted to mention in this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and let me know what your favorites are off this list, or what do you think is an underrated romance that more people should read. And leave me the wolf emoji for the wolf and the wildflower. But thank you so much again, and I will see you in my next video.